Hey guys, today we are talking about polynomials. This is the first lesson in our new unit, Unit 9. And we're going to be talking about, first off, what a polynomial is, and then how to add, subtract, and multiply those polynomials. So first off, let's talk about what a polynomial is. A polynomial is very simply just like a list of numbers with exponents. Um, it's also called an expression, is another word for kind of a polynomial. It can have the first main rule about polynomials, though, is that exponents are positive whole numbers. And we label polynomials in a couple certain ways. First off, we list them by degree. So if you look here at this chart down here, our degree of 0 just means a whole number. A degree of 1, that's linear, and that just means that we have an x there without an exponent. Technically, we have an exponent of 1. Next is quadratic. We've solved quadratic equations and graphed quadratics. That's whenever we have a exponent of 2 as my highest exponent. That's my degree. Whenever we have a highest degree of 3, that's cubic. We've graphed cubic as well. And lastly, quartic, degree of 4. So my highest degree is 4. So our degree is whatever our highest degree is, and we have these special words to describe them. Now, our leading coefficient is the number that's in front of my highest degree. And our constant, whenever you hear the word constant, just think of a number without a variable. So a number without an x, without a y, stuff like that. So let's go ahead, let's dive down here. Let's take a look here at number 1. So what we're going to do first is we're going to decide if it is a polynomial or not. Now this one is indeed a polynomial, so we're just going to write yes. Yes, that's a polynomial. And the way I know that is all of my exponents are positive whole numbers. Next, we look at my degree. So we're going to look at the highest exponent I have, and my highest exponent is 3. So we have a degree of 3. So if we have a degree of 3, we're going to call this a cubic equation. Next, we can write this in standard form. Now, standard form are exponents in order from highest degree to lowest degree. So we put our highest degree first, our lowest degree last. And usually our lowest degree is a constant. So in this case, it already is in standard form. It's negative 2x cubed, because that's my first highest degree, plus 5x plus 8. So it already was in standard form, but there we have it there. Our leading coefficient. Now, your leading coefficient is the number that, when written in standard form, is at the front. It's the number attached to our highest degree. So my leading coefficient in this case is negative 2. All right, let's take a look here at number 2. So number 2, first off, is this a polynomial? And we're going to have to answer no for this one, okay? We're going to say no, and that is because of this right here. This is no because, not because we have a negative exponent. Okay, so it is a no because we have a negative exponent. All right, so we can move on. If it's not a polynomial, we can't answer any of those other questions, so we just keep going on. All right, number 3 here. Is this one a polynomial? And you might be thinking, oh, how can it be a polynomial? We have a square root in there. However, it is still a polynomial. The only thing that decides a polynomial or not is if your exponents are negative or not whole numbers. So we can go ahead and write this in standard form. My highest degree is 4, so we're going to move that to be at the front. So out in the front here, we're going to write the square root of 2 x to the 4th minus 0.8 x cubed minus 12. So we write it from highest degree to lowest degree. And what is that degree? That highest degree here is a 4. And the type, if my highest degree is 4, then the type of polynomial that we have here is a quartic polynomial. And my leading coefficient, remember that's just the number that's in front of my first, at the very beginning, leading coefficient, the number at the first, is going to be the square root of 2. All right, so let's go ahead, let's turn the page, and let's do one more of these. Let's take a look at this one. Number 4, is this a polynomial? And we look at our exponents to see if it's a polynomial or not, and this one has that x right there. So this one is not a polynomial. So once again, we can say this is not a polynomial because we have a variable exponent. All right, so if it's not a polynomial, we don't write any of the other stuff. Okay, so adding polynomials and subtracting polynomials. Whenever you think about adding polynomials, I want you to think combine like terms. So for number 5 here, we have these two separate polynomials and we're combining them together. But remember, we can only add and subtract things that are counting the same thing. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite this as 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 7. And we are adding these two, so we're going to go plus x cubed minus 10x squared plus 8. And since I'm adding, I can just drop the parentheses, and now we just combine like terms. So let's go step by step. Start with our x cubes. I have 3x cubes and 1x cubed. So together they're going to make 4x cubed. Then I have 2x squared and negative 10x squared. They're going to be combined to be negative 8x squared. Then we have my x's. We have a negative x, and there is no x over on the other side, so we're just going to write negative x in there. If there's nothing to combine with, it just stays the same. And then lastly, my whole numbers. My whole numbers, we have a negative 7 and a positive 8. Negative 7 plus 8 is 1. So let's rewrite this all the same color. So we're going to have 4x cubed minus 8x squared minus x plus 1. All right, so now my degree for this, my highest degree is 3, and so this is going to be a cubic polynomial. All right, take a look at number 6. Number 6, we're adding these together. Remember, sum means addition. So once again, I'm going to go 9y to the third plus 3y squared minus 2y plus 1, and I'm going to add negative 5y squared plus y minus 4. So if we're adding these, we're just going to combine like terms. So starting with my cubes, we have 9y cubed. There is nothing that is also y cubed, so we just leave it like that. Then we move on to my squares. 3y squared and negative 5y squared make negative 2y squared. Then my y's, negative 2y and positive y make negative y. And then lastly, my whole numbers. 1 and negative 4 make negative 3. So this is my answer on this one. And so my highest degree is 3, and the type, once again, is cubic. Okay? All right. Now, let's move on, and let's take a look at number 7. And this one, you'll notice we use a different word. It says difference. So we are subtracting. When you subtract, make sure that you distribute the negative. Then combine like terms. So distribute the negative first, then combine like terms. So we need to distribute the negative here first. That's what happens when we subtract. So we're going to make this a positive 2z squared, and we're going to make this a minus 3z. So we're going to have 3z squared plus z minus 4 plus 2z squared minus 3z. So now that we've distributed the negative, we can combine like terms. So I'm going to go 3z squared and 2z squared make 5z squared. Z and, let's change colors, z and negative 3z combine to make negative 2z. Then this negative 4 is just going to stay by itself. So we have our answer of 5z squared minus 2z minus 4. So our degree on this one, the highest degree here is 2, and that is a quadratic. If I could learn how to spell, it would be a lot better, wouldn't it? It's going to be a quadratic. All right, let's move down to our last one on this page, number 8. Once again, I am subtracting. So I'm going this polynomial minus this polynomial. And we have this minus sign here in the middle. I need to distribute the minus sign first and then combine like terms. So I'm going to go distribute all three of these. So we're going to go negative times negative 5y squared is a positive 5y squared. Negative times y is negative y. Negative times negative 4 is a positive 4. So we can have 9y cubed plus 3y squared minus 2y plus 1. And now all I need to do is combine like terms. So let's start here with my 9y cubed. There's nothing over here that I can combine that with, so we're just going to have 9y cubed. Then let's take this 3y squared and this 5y squared, combine them together, and we get 8y squared. Then we can take my y's, negative 2y and negative y, make negative 3y. And then lastly, we're going to add my whole numbers together. We're going to go 1 and 4 make 5. And so here's what it simplifies to. 9y cubed plus 8y squared minus 3y plus 5. So, to subtract, remember, distribute the negative, then combine like terms. Okay, let's turn the page. It's going to be our last page for today. So we're already a third of the way through it, and we're going to now discuss multiplying. So whenever we multiply polynomials, the key to multiply is distributing. Sometimes we distribute, combine like terms, and distribute again. This is one of those cases. Notice how I have 1, 2, 3 different polynomials being multiplied together. So we can start with 2 of them. So we're going to take 2 of them and multiply these 2 together. So I'm going to start with these 2 on the end. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take this x minus 1 and we're going to save it for later. And we're going to multiply these 2 together. Okay? So I'm going to start off, whenever I multiply these 2 together, I'm going to start off with my x. So my x is going to multiply here and it's going to multiply here. I call this double distribution. We're distributing my x to both of them, and we're distributing my 4 to both of them. So let's start with my x. We're going to go x times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. Then let's go ahead and let's do my 4. We're going to go 4 times x and 4 times 5. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, so I've created a new polynomial. Kind of ignore that they're different colors like that. That was just to show you which one we were doing. So now let's combine like terms. This 5x and 4x make 9x in the center plus 20. Now I can't simplify this anymore, but we have to remember that I have this x minus 1 here at the first. And so we're going to once again multiply these together. So we're going to go x times x squared. Remember, whenever we multiply x's together, we add the exponents, and there's a tiny invisible 1 right here. So that's going to create x cubed. Then I'm going to go x times 9x. So we're taking that x and multiplying to each one of these 3. X times 9x is 9x squared. Then x times 20 is going to be 20x. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my negative 1. I'm going to take that negative 1 and I'm going to multiply it here. So we're going to go negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. Negative 1 times 9x is negative 9x. And negative 1 times 20 is negative 20. Now, we can combine like terms and then we're done. Okay? So we're going to combine first my x cubed. Now there's no other x cubed, so that's just by itself. Then we're going to combine my my x squared. So 9x squared over negative 1x squared is going to be 8x squared. Then my x's, 20x and negative 9x, make 11x. And last but not least, my negative 20 is here by itself. And so anyways, this is our final answer. I'm going to rewrite it all with one color. We have x cubed plus 8x squared plus 11x minus 20. So we multiply two of them together, simplify that, and then multiply your third one in. So we're just distributing, I call it double distribution. We're just distributing both of my numbers from a parentheses into everything it's being multiplied to. Okay? All right, let's try one last one here, number 10. This one is basically the same kind of problem. It says, what is the volume of a cube with side length 3x minus 5? Now, if you remember, a cube has all the same sides, and to find the volume, we go length times width times height. So we're going to take this and multiply it by itself 3 times. So we're going to go 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. Then we're going to work out these two together first and then multiply it to my third one. So let's start here. We're going to rewrite this one out in front, and we're going to start with 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times negative 5 is negative 15x. 5 times 3x is negative 15x. And negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25. Now we're going to combine these like terms in the center to make negative 30x in the center. So we'll have 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. Still multiply this out in front. And now we're going to distribute again. We're going to take both of my numbers out here in front, and we're going to multiply both of them. So let's start with this 3x. We're going to go 3x times 9x squared is 27x cubed. 3x times negative 30. It's going to be negative 90x squared. 3x times 25 is going to be 75x. Then we do the same thing with negative 5. We're going to go negative 5 times 9x is negative 45x squared. Negative 5 times negative 30x is going to be a positive 150x. And then negative 5 times 25 is going to be a negative 125. Now, we combine like terms. This 27x cubed doesn't have any like terms, so that's it. This negative 90x squared and negative 45x squared are going to combine to make negative 135x squared. This 75x and 150x are going to combine to make 225x. And then last but not least, this negative 125 is just here by itself. All right, guys, and so that's what it would simplify to, and that's going to be my answer to what the volume is. Okay? All right. So let's talk about this. If you ever see this, x plus 3 cubed, you can expand it like this. That's the same thing as saying x plus 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 3. And we can then work that out just like we did the problems above. All right, guys, hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope you have a great rest of your day.